So we were quite lucky to find the building. This building was designed and built up as an office and logistics area. So actually the building was getting the permission of usage from the Bulgarian authorities in August 2010, and we found it almost brand new, not used at all, due to the crisis probably. The business of the previous owner of the building was not running at that volume that he was expecting to have. And for this reason, he was ready to shrink a bit himself and to sell the building to another company. And we were lucky to be at the right moment in the right place, talking with him and deciding to buy the building. The next step, very important for us, was to prove that our production is harmless. So we are not going to poison the environment or to create some issues with the residential area which is quite close to the building. So the Bulgarian authorities, the Agency for Water, Air and Ecology, was supposed to check all the papers of our production, to see all the substances we are using, to check all the process and to issue us a certificate that we are allowed to renovate the building for production usage. And actually, on the 1st of December, we signed the notary deed of buying the building. It was 1st of December 2011. Till the end of the year, we were evaluating possible building construction companies to make the reconstruction for us. On the first stage, we nominated one company. It's a Belgian company called Dell. And this company got the target to build up in less than 20 days, 200 square meters as test area. So this company was performing really great and they were able to do it. Actually, when this 200 square meters was ready, we bring up our people from Switzerland. We had 10 people from Bulgaria sent to Switzerland on a training for 2 months. So end of January, they were back in Sofia and they started continuing their improvement and trainings in Sofia. And the building construction company got the rest of the piece of the building to change it into a production facility. Generally, this means a very huge investment in climatization and ventilation, as well in air conditioning. We need to maintain a certain environment, very strict, between 21 and 23 degrees Celsius. We need to keep an overpressure in the production room of roughly 20 pascals, so that when you open the door, the air blows out and not getting the dust inside. All the concrete in the building, that was a warehouse actually, so for this reason we built up a special layer of epoxy in the production area. The epoxy is with some specific features like anti-static, anti-reflecting the light. Also the painting is anti-static. We don't want to collect dust because this is the biggest enemy of fiber optic itself. Actually, after finishing of this reconstruction works, we get laboratory testing the percentage of dust and the diameter of the dust particles in 1 cubic meter, so that we are allowed to get a certificate for a clean zone. And this was finished already in April.
It looks exactly like a plant in Switzerland, or do you have another new
actually, the process belongs to Switzerland, and the localizations, Swiss people are quite strict. They know what they have achieved, they know what they have done. So unless you are not able to really improve something and to show them, the ownership of the process stays in our mother company. So we follow up exactly the rules and the transfer of knowledge which is coming from Switzerland.
But building a new plant, they use this moment to bring something new in their company, or it's exactly the plant that you have in Switzerland?
There are some, let's say, everybody is learning from the past.
Exactly.
So, for example, the hardness of the epoxy, some small issues which we already experienced in our production in Switzerland. For example, there was a special requirement about the distance between the columns. Then the layout, the production layout is a pretty important issue because you have to save time and to make the production very easy so that people are not jumping over each other. I don't say that this is the case we have in Switzerland, but all the time when you're on a new place, you're really empty place, like we have it here, you really have a chance to make it in a perfect way from the knowledge that you have so far.
And there are several small local innovations I've seen last time when we were here. Tell us something about it.
Which one you have in mind? Exactly?
The small dust exhausting system,
yes,
behind the ovens. So there are local engineering added values already.
It's good to mention it. Yes, it's not
it
something.
Is, of course, at the end of the day, you have a system and you have to implement it. Maybe there are different ways for implementation, and one way could have some benefits over another way. Actually, the air, we are using kind of a two-component epoxy to glue the fiber into the connector, and then there is some very small evaporation out of this, which could probably make some people which are having anyhow allergical problems, could make them very sensitive to this smell, to this gas. So the system we a bit developed in Sofia, which is connected to the place where we have such an issue, we have such working places where the epoxy is hardly used. Hardly means 2 milligrams per connector. So we are talking about microns all the time. Don't think that we have kilos of this. But anyhow, we have to respect the people and their health. So the system is taking all this the air around and is putting it into the ventilation, so that we don't have such an issues.
And where do you get the raw materials?
All the
From
material,
here, from Bulgaria?
No, the material today for the production, for the core production, let's say, is coming from Switzerland, because it is not that easy to manufacture fiber optic. When somebody can say, oh, it's easy, you just make it the same. Actually, there is a recipe. This recipe says exactly what you use, how much. You have to be very precise. For example, on every hour we are changing the epoxy because it starts hardening faster, and then you have a big risk to damage the connector itself. On every hour we are checking how much of this epoxy is going to be inserted into the connector, because it should be 2 milligrams. And you have a measurement unit, and then the operator of the machine is putting 10 drops and is checking if the weight of the drops is between 20 and 25 milligrams. So there are some specific things that you have to observe very carefully, because the end result could be affected. One of the measurement parameters for the production is the first pass yield. So it's very important to know that when you do something, from the first pass it passes. It's from the first test it works properly. Otherwise, you have to improve your process.
It is important to mention that this, coming back to the previous topic, that there are some local innovations already, which is important that they can happen, but this can happen only because of the trust the Swiss people show, and because you have to have the capacity, but you have to have the freedom. So these two have met. So there is a strict process described or designed in Switzerland, but still there is a lot of freedom beside this for the local people to improve in every step possible the production. And this happens because you can have the freedom but not the resources. So it's a happy mixture.
What Christina is mentioning, you can find in every material of R&D. It is written below the logo of the company, convincing cabling solutions. So the word convincing is having a magic meaning for us. The question out of this is quite, we go to the legal point. Normally, if you want to check what is the country of origin, you need to know what is the percentage of the labor cost and the percentage of the material cost. If you have a labor cost or any added value to a product which is above 60% of the cost of the final product, then you have to change the country of origin. And there is other possibility. If the goods are coming with different tariff numbers according to the customs tariff in European Union, and you assemble the goods together and you produce a product which is with another tariff number, then this is called a tariff jump. Because you collect different things and then you manufacture something which is not with this tariff number. Again, you're allowed to change the country of origin. So far, we don't change the country of origin, and by how long it will stay like this is a matter of precise calculations, it's a matter of transfer prices. It is another hot topic in Europe today, how a holding organization is transferring the goods between the subsidiaries. It's a topic issue, hot issue in European Union, and there are a lot of discussions because, you know, this could be quite an important question. We are going to transfer for the next year pigtails production with different type of connectors. We are going to transfer patch cord production again with different type of connectors. Actually, tomorrow we start the patch cord production in Sofia. Then we are going to transfer the variable line production. These are the pre-terminated cables for networks. Then we are going to have again from the beginning of next week the assembly of the 19-inch platforms and the assembly of the Venus boxes. Generally, these are the 5 different groups of products which we will relocate in Sofia, and this means that all the working hours that are related to these products are going to be smoothly transferred from Switzerland to Sofia. Of course, we will never stop our production in Switzerland, and this will continue both